Mr. Graham Winship, FBA Lifestyle Podcast, living that FBA lifestyle. So, Graham, sitting in Canada, but mostly half the year living in nomadic. Met him in Bangkok. We did a previous video on my channel in like 2018 or something like that when you were first.
Early 2017, I think.
2017 in Bangkok. He hit me up. He's like, Riley, I'm coming out. I'm just getting into FBA. So if you look that up on my channel, you can find that. We did a quick little phone interview in person in Bangkok. You were just getting into FBA. That's just about 3 years ago, exactly. And I didn't even know this. I just called Graham up, say, hey, you want to do an update video? And he told me that he just basically sold his FBA business for $420,000 in 3 years. Not to mention, he has multi six figures stacked in the bank, cash from all the cash flow that's coming out. So he was just about to sell his business. It was like about to go through. This is right before Corona for 400 plus thousand, and then the buyers backed out the last minute because I got scared because of Corona. But either way, you basically sold it, and post Corona you can sell it again, and you might do that, and we're going to talk about that. But your net profit is like, what's your gross net profit a month, like around like that
average is about 16,000 US a month right now, but probably it will go up once I get a lot of these products back in stock from Corona.
Awesome. Fuck yeah. And do you care to share how much cash you were able to stack up over the last 3 years?
I mean, sure. I mean, obviously I have quite a bit in inventory costs because I actually have a ton of different SKUs. But it's a bit over $250,000 US, so a bit over 250K.
Bit over $250,000. He was like, I was just telling him, I was like, yeah, we're just debating over, having a partnership with like a business partner or doing it yourself. And he's like, yeah, man, I love doing it myself. And I was like, yeah, when you do it yourself, it's double the money, compared to having a business partner. And it's like, I was telling him that my younger brother hit a big milestone with 100K stacked from his business that he started in 2017 selling on Amazon. And, because, it's just him. It's just him. He keeps all the money. And Graham was like, you know what milestone I just hit? He's like, $250,000. So that's something to take in mind, guys. So, wow, huge success story. Oh, my God. So, where do we even start? So that's 16 gross profit. How many products is that total? How many listings?
Listings, a lot of them have variations, but if you want to just go listings, it's kind of complicated because some I share across US and Canada, some are just Canada. I started out in Canada selling. So I would say I have 12 to 14 listings. A lot of those have several variations that can kind of cater to different audiences. I love to do variations. I find that it just makes my product targetable to a way higher percentage of people that are clicking on your listing. So a lot of variations, but about 12 to 14 listings right now.
12 to 14 listings. Interesting. And you said you were what category are they in?
I have a few different niches. I didn't do the whole targeted niche like a lot of sellers do. So I have probably 3 main niches. Sports and outdoors would be one. And then the other 2 would be more like hobbies or I don't know, event.
Oh shit! You cut out. You said you cut out after event.
Oh, I just said event type products.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Raves.
Yeah, exactly.
Rave lights.
Yeah.
Is it in the rave niche?
It is not. We'll keep it secret though.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Like myself, I, like most people, especially when you're an influencer, like your job is to help people find products. It's like, it's not the best. Not everyone wants to share their product, and me too, mostly over the years. And you had said that like another, someone that you Another seller already tried to copy your shit. So yeah.
You
Anyways.
get people kind of playing in your niche or that type of thing.
Yeah.
It definitely happens. And I know guys that have had people find out their products and try to rip them off. Usually those are not the type of people that succeed anyways, but you know, I just like to be safe, and my products are pretty easy to copy. So I just don't like them out there.
Yeah. Especially some of these niches are so small. It's like,
Yeah,
there's no upside to sharing your niche, and it's all downside.
exactly.
Even though
Maybe
it
if I
might
sold
be,
the business, I would, but
yeah,
you know,
even though it might be pretty rare that someone will like actually go and copy you, it's like the risk reward is like, yeah. Okay, cool. Holy shit. So you started in Canada. Is most of your profit is in the US, right? Like what's the profit comparison?
so I started in Canada because there was, back in 2017, there was like, I felt there was more opportunity in Canada just because, you know, you find a random product. I don't know what you want to do. Give me like, say I'm looking at a whiteboard here. There'd be 100 sellers in America selling a whiteboard, and there'd be 4 in Canada. So I'm just like, okay, yeah, there's way less sales happening in Canada, but I'm only competing with 4 dudes. So not that I was selling whiteboards, but you know, you're just competing with so much less people that you're on page 1 instantly. And I would just launch product after product. Like, yeah, I make 3 sales a day, but there's not many competitors, so we all have a high price. And that's the reason I started selling so many of my products in Canada. So I think I probably have twice as many listings in Canada, but yet my profit in America is about twice as high. So I think it's about a 10 to 12K profit in US, and then like 5 to 7 or 8K profit in Canada. And that's just because, you know, that's like the normal months. If it's December, obviously it's going to be way higher, but you know how it goes.
Yeah, regular month in that average. Okay, cool. Yeah. We just got the ball rolling in Canada. That's going. Cool. So shit. I mean, like, let's go with, for someone who's wants to get into, you know, an Amazon business, invest in Amazon, and wants to start this thing. What are your kind of tips, tricks, and you know, hacks and advice that you've learned over the years that you would share with someone that's getting into it?
I mean, for me, I've always been a fan of lots and lots of small wins. So I know most sellers these days have like 5 good products that each make thousands of dollars, but I have no problem starting a product that's not competitive and makes you $500 a month. You know, if you launch one product that makes you 300, like maybe you're aiming for $500 profit a month and it only makes you 250, you're still not going to be disappointed. Like, you still have a product that's profiting you money every month. And it's just, you know, if you're in these niches where you're not going to make as much money, you're still going to come across a lot less competition in those easy niches. There is markets and niches right now you can find on Amazon that the quality of your competitors is so bad that you're going to beat them just by putting up like 6 decent photos of your product and pricing it accordingly. Like, I don't really go for these $5,000, $10,000 a month products because it's not that hard to launch a product. Like, yeah, it probably takes like 40 hours of work to launch a product, but if you just keep doing that over and over, you can do that with products that are making you $500 to $1,000 profit a month. And I find that's my strategy. So rather than going for like just a few big money makers, I've kind of gone the other way, and I do a lot of small products that all contribute to a pretty good profit.
Nice. And what's been your general method to find product ideas?
Definitely at the start, it was all software based. So Jungle Scout was the main one that I used. And it works. It's great. Like, Jungle Scout obviously was like the first kind of big software back then. And it found me basically all my niches. And then over time, I would just kind of branch off. So basically the way my business went is I just started like a general brand, just launching whatever would make money. I didn't really care what niche it was in. And then I had like a core of maybe like 5 good products. And then from then for like the last 2 years, I've just been like, obviously once you're in a niche, you kind of understand the niche better. Or you guys, what do you guys say in America? You guys don't say niche, you say niche. Anyways.
I don't know. I don't know.
I've always found Americans say niche, but I don't know. Up here we say niche. And after I had those kind of 5 core products, I just branched out. So I would release different colors, different sizes of whatever those products were. So they just kind of branched out from the 5 core products that I found. And from those niches, I just kind of expanded.
Nice. So branching out in those niches, it's like, would it be generally something that your first customer would also want to buy, like basically?
Pretty much. Or just like, you're in a niche, you just see opportunities. Obviously, even when you look on a listing page, you'll be like, oh, this was frequently bought together with this. That's usually a pretty good indication. Like, you could probably sell that, like,
Yep.
that's pretty much how it goes. And it's nice, sometimes you just make a sale, or you'll look through your orders and you're like, oh, someone bought 2 of my products at the same time, or 3. And it's like, that was a direct result of me having products in the same niche, and I just made twice the profit because of it. So obviously, if you can kind of build around that, obviously it makes things better and more profitable.
Nice. What's been your kind of, you said 40 hours of work, to launch a product. What is, what would that whole, seems pretty quick.
It does.
What would that, what do you mean by that? What would that all entail?
I don't know if I'm like, usually when I'm saying 40 hours, I'm thinking once you've kind of chose your product.
Yeah. Once you've chosen it. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously the product research is the big part, but once you've found that product, I contact like a lot of suppliers, because I just find like, might as well contact 20, because some are going to have better prices than others. And a lot of them sometimes will have too high of prices. I feel like only two out of 10 suppliers that I contact even give me a half decent response. So I like to contact quite a bit of them. And dealing with Chinese like suppliers is a hassle, especially if you're unless you're in Asia. Like if you're in America or Europe, that kind of time zone, it takes so long to go back and forth with these suppliers, because like you go to bed, you send them a couple messages, they reply. It can take days. So I love it when I'm in Asia to talk with suppliers. But that goes on for a while. Like that's probably a solid like 10, 15 hours of like actually weeding out like, okay, I have like 2 or 3 good suppliers here from the 20 that I contacted, and they can do these customizations. So that's a big part of it, probably 10, 15 hours. You also got to spend time like working with that supplier once you found them. Like, can you change this? Or like, how can we make our product box dimensions the best size so that we pay the least in fees at Amazon? Mm-hmm. Like there's all sorts of little things that you want to be, I don't know, you got to pay attention to them, and that takes time. So I'd say maybe 10 hours on like product customization and asking if they can change little things or how they're going to put the barcode on, I would say another 3 hours, 5 hours going back and forth with a designer on a box design. I love to do nice boxes, because customers they just assume quality comes from a nice box. So that's another 5 hours. And then, probably the last 10 hours would just be like shipping logistics, and then launching and getting, reviews and stuff once your product's there. Obviously my first product took me probably, honestly, 400 hours. Like I'm not even exaggerating. I was just learning as I went. So of course the first product, I didn't even have a course to go through. So it took a lot longer, but now that I have the process nailed down, I'd say probably 40 hours, probably a good guess.
Nice. Had you, for most of your products or any, did you make any like physical, functional, like alterations or customizations to like make your product unique? Or
I'd say I haven't spent a bunch on like, I know some people will get like custom molds that cost 10 grand or 20 grand or whatever. I haven't done like that big of alterations, but I think a good thing I've found is like, what little bonus can I add with this product that is going to set me apart? Or that's been a big thing for me, is like, I deal with these pretty, like I was telling you, pretty easy niches where the competitors aren't doing much. So if you have your product and I have mine, and I add a little bonus on the side and we're the same price, like right then and there, I've already earned like a customer's value like over you, because I just add like some little 50-cent thing that is useful. Like you can't just add some random sticker or something, you know, it has to be something useful. But bundling and including extra things that customers love, that's where I've found. It would be nice to like completely redesign a product, but that does take more time and money, and that's probably what I'll get into in the future, but that hasn't been what's worked for me so far.
Yeah. I always say the same thing. Like in the future, I always see myself fully inventing something, filing the patents, and then classic 4-hour work week, like licensing it out for just pure recurring revenue, license out your patents, and fully develop an invention, which I actually have. I had a new one just during Corona. I had a new one, and I'm actually actively seeking a patent expert on that. And I have an upcoming interview with a Kickstarter guy, so we might actually do it through Kickstarter.
Cool.
Whole new different way, and that way I can pre-sell and pre-test the concept before actually getting it full on made in scale.
I like that.
Yeah, I haven't haven't paid for a custom mold yet, but what we have done with most of our products is some sort of customization that doesn't require a new mold, like combining different pieces from another supplier. Hey, swap this out with that, or connect these things, or make this a different size. Doesn't require a mold. You just fucking make it a different size or whatever. Work around the mold thing and make it still as unique as possible. That's what I found.
Totally.
Makes us unique, or insert this or blah blah blah. You guys know what I mean. Cool. And then for good packaging for sure. Always a good thing.
Sometimes packaging is even like, I'm talking in these niches, I have such bad competitors that me having a nicer box is going to make me sell more than them. So don't underlook that either. Like even when a customer gets your product, they open a nice package. I feel like even that is more likely to make them go leave a good review. Yeah.
The unboxing experience, is very, that's what they say. That's what they say about unboxing experience. See what I was going to say next. And then photography, what's been your kind of go-to playbook there?
So it used to be sending them to a professional photographer. I think he's in Las Vegas. He's actually really good. He's pretty cheap. I found him on Fiverr. I had him recommended to me by a friend. And then I started talking to some other sellers, and they were getting all of their product photos digitally created by like these really good guys that essentially, make a product look better than it ever could in photos, essentially. So lately I've just been doing that. I have a guy, he's in Brazil actually, and he does really good product photos, and they're completely digitally created. Like I'll send him a picture of my product, or some angles and stuff like that. He works on them. Cost me, he's cheap, man. He's like less than $200, and he can do anything with it, right? Like he can put it on this background, that background. He's unreal, and it looks better sometimes, not always, but it looks better than just if you paid a photographer to do it, because just like lighting reasons, right? Like sometimes a digitally enhanced photo can look better because of the way they can like light the product, or things that you can't do when you're paying for traditional photography.
Okay, cool. Wow. I never actually really thought of that. I've paid for a couple Fiverr guys for some 3D renders, but never came out super good, so never ended up using them. But that's very interesting. Okay, if you guys are interested, listeners, feel free to reach out to Grammar about that connection. Boom, bada bing, boom. Oh yeah, and then also the hybrid of that, which a lot of people do, is they take a bunch of real photos, just white background, bunch of different angles, and then they have a Photoshop person Photoshop into real life.
Yeah, that's very good too.
Into different stock photos of different situations. It can look really shitty sometimes when it's just like, okay, that's the worst fucking Photoshop ever. It's like he's not even holding it like right. So That's what most Chinese listings do. That's a dead giveaway
Exactly.
for a Chinese listing. They
Exactly.
always do that. They take photos, white background, and Photoshop that into some stock photo, and like the product is like way oversized in their hand or whatever.
Yes. Or they have their fist like holding the product and it's coming out at like an angle through their fist. Like it's just awful. And that's saying, they probably paid like someone $5 to make that photo and it doesn't look good.
Yeah. Chinese listings. And if you don't know what we're talking about, guys, I don't know the stats, but a good chunk of Amazon listings nowadays are China direct sellers. For better or for worse, it's just the way it is. But, you can look at it in a positive light or a negative light. And, the Photoshop thing, that's always one dead giveaway. And the random brand name generator, that's the first giveaway. When you see some random brand name like Poofy or like shook by or like some random they do random name generator. That's my hypothesis. I'm pretty damn sure that's what they do.
Yeah. They also like to associate their names with like sky or river or something about nature. They love those names. Like for me, like blue sky or like round hill, or I don't know why they love these like nature names.
No, it's because they use a random name generator.
Yeah, I could see it.
If I had to bet $1,000, I would say that's how they do it.
Really?
That's just how they do it. That's
funny.
That's I'm pretty damn sure that be the only way they're doing that. That's why you got to make your products unique and have this good branding and this good brand name that's like not a random name generator. Actual like cool, like it would made by an American person, by like a Western person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So you can look at it in positive way or negative way.
I don't think Chinese sellers are giving customers as good of an experience as a Western seller could. Yeah. They might be able to have better prices, but there's no way that you can contact a Chinese supplier and be like, hey, this broke. Like, can you fix it? Or they'll just tell you to get lost, I feel like half the time. And I feel like
lost. Get lost. Reply to review, get lost.
Yeah.
They don't care. They still have 2,000 reviews,
True, because they pay for them all.
That's the Chinese method. Obviously, they make it themselves so they can just undercut everyone on price.
Yeah.
Do these shitty Photoshop pictures, and they don't care. It's a certain subset of shoppers are just going to go for the cheapest.
Yeah.
But on the other swing, certain subset of shoppers are going to go with the most expensive.
Yep.
So that's the better way. So yeah, have you done that with any of your products? Like been the most expensive, like premium option?
Yeah, definitely a few. And actually more over time. Like at the start, I was more get the cheapest price and try to sell it at the cheapest price, which worked for a bit. But lately I've just been adding so much value, like with my bonuses or just like with my attention to detail, that I just naturally find myself selling a lot, even when I am the highest price or like one of the higher prices. What happens in a lot of my niches is they're so non-competitive that I just launch them and there's so little competitors driving the price down that we're all like making $15 profit. And then, a year later, we're all making 10 because we all dropped our prices. Mm-hmm. But usually it turns out like I'm still the top seller, even though I'm a higher price, just because I have better attention to detail than a lot of the other sellers.
Yeah. And it's weird. I think sometimes you sell more just by being the most expensive.
For sure.
For the reason that I said, like some people, they just want to get the most expensive one. They assume that's the best one.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like race to the top. You'd rather be.
Sometimes you can be significantly higher priced than other people, and they're like, "Oh, well, it must be better. Like it's more expensive. It must be better."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those juicy margins are everything. You were telling me before the call that some of your products you're sourcing for $1 into Amazon and then selling it and then getting a $7 profit on that.
Yeah, I definitely have some like 700% returns on some products. Like I think over time that's harder and harder to do just because of a little bit of price wars, but I do have a product that I pay 95 cents for, and I think I ship it by air for about 22 cents. And that currently profits me anywhere between, the price fluctuates a lot, but anywhere from 5.50 to $12, depending on kind of the demand or the season.
Whoa. And you list that for what, $14.99 or?
Depends. So I'm not going to give away all my secrets here, but certain
Between
categories
14.
are 8% referral fee under $10. So I have some products, rather than paying the 15% referral fee, I'll get them at 8% referral fee under $10. So I'll sell them at $9.99 and still make a pretty nice profit.
Oh,
Yeah, so like baby category is 8% referral fee under $10. A couple other categories are like that. Can't remember them off the top of my head.
is that like
Um,
8%, like instead of like the usual like 30%?
well, it's normally 15 on most goods. So like if you're in sports, you're selling a product for $100, you're paying Amazon 15, and then you're paying them on top of that, you're paying them the weight and size tier fees. But I think beauty, baby, and one other category are 8% under $15, and then I know that the technical and scientific category is 12% on any price. So there's different. Yeah, you can look at the referral fee chart.
Yeah, the link that you just sent me.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, so you just basically go to sell.amazon.com/pricing. And it has all the things there. And yeah, thanks for bringing this up because I need to look at this updated referral fees. And the other hack you had was keeping the smallest size under 0.75 inches.
yeah. So there's definitely a lot of products where I'll notice that someone is selling it in a size tier that if they just alter the dimensions of the packaging, they could get into a size tier below that and really change their pricing. Like I did get into a kind of oversized market that I was able to fit it into the standard size just by like playing with it a little bit and making it a tiny bit smaller, but that ended up saving me over $2 a sale in Amazon fees. And then there's also a very little known, I think it's called small standard size. If you have one of the sides less than 0.75 inches, you pay less fees on that as well. So that's something
if you can get into FBA small and light, which is the smallest size tier.
That actually is a bit different. That's like small and light is cheaper, but there's no Prime 2-day shipping on that. So I'm talking about the small standard size.
Oh,
tier.
small. If you can get into small standard, so less than 15 by 12 by 0.75.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the max dimension. Got it. And then the weight is okay. If it's 10 ounces or less, then it's $250. If it's 10 to 16, then it's $263. That's the fulfillment fee. But then there's also the referral fee. Okay, that's if you're on Amazon, whether or not you're FBA.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I could probably link you to that too, but there's definitely like different categories.
It's right there. It's on the same page. Yeah, category referral fee. Yeah. So referral fee. Okay, so this is category referral fee. So the referral fee is a percentage. Got it. And so, for example, baby beauty, for example, 8%, $10 or less, 15% over 10.
Yeah. So you're actually making more money if you're selling a beauty product for $9.99 than if you're selling it for $10.50.
Yeah. Nice. Books is 15% plus $1.80. Cell phone devices 8%. Clothing 17%.
So basically, the biggest ones that people would ever really use that for would be cell phone devices, camera, and photos. Are 8% straight up, no matter the price. And then you got electronic accessories. Oh, no, sorry. No, that's not the one. Health and personal care. That's a big one. 8% for less than $10. A lot of health and personal care sellers out there. And if you're pricing at less than $10, you're only paying 8%. Another one is industrial and scientific, 12%. That's nice to know. What's the other big one? Like I said, baby and the other one I said earlier, which I can't remember right now, but there's like 3 or 4 main ones where you're like, okay, 8% under $10, maybe I'll use that to my advantage if you have a cheap product.
Interesting. So yeah, this reminds me to say, like, when you're choosing your category, guys, like, look into this, because some products can go in different categories.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, when you create your listing, you just go in there and you select the category. So yeah, it reminds me to go in there and pick the category that makes sense.
Yeah. So just for an example, like that cheap product that I was just talking about earlier, people say you can't make money on a cheap product. You're paying $4.11 in fees to Amazon on every sale, so that leaves me with like what, $5.88 profit. Take away the $1.20 cost from supplier, I'm still making, like, I can't remember my math there, but $4.60-ish, and that's on a $9.99 product. So there's profit to be made even on low price products if you're in the right categories and size tiers.
Yeah, over 40% profit margin is great.
Mm-hmm.
For us, it's average like 30% profit margin overall.
Yep.
I think on Jungle Scout's survey, it said like the average Amazon seller profit margin was like around the 20 to 25% range.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, but I always say, definitely try to be 30 above. Shoot for 40 or 50 for sure.
Yeah. When I estimate, if I just want a quick estimate of what I profit in the day, I usually go 35 because I think it's in that 35 to 40% range.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Cool. And then, for your launch, I guess, what's your kind of go-to launch been?
I've tried a bunch of different things. Like, I have tried Viral Launch back when that was popular. It worked pretty well. It's kind of expensive. I've done Facebook coupon giveaways through ManyChat through Facebook ads. So distributing coupons, and that's worked pretty well, actually. It was actually better for getting reviews, even though that's not what I was using it for. But that was nice. It worked pretty well, although Amazon's kind of cracked down on that recently. I've heard of people getting suspended for it. Actually, my good buddy got suspended for it recently, so kind of shied away from that lately.
Wait, he was doing what again?
He was doing discounted Facebook ads. So obviously, you create the coupons in Seller Central, and then you have ads on Facebook offering, 50, 80, 90% off. He got suspended for 3 days for what they called bestseller rank manipulating. So basically, I guess he just sold too much too fast at a high discount. I don't know. There wasn't really a bunch of people got suspended around the same time. But people don't really know why. Maybe it was too high of a discount.
Yeah. I know that's in the terms of service. You're not supposed to do anything to manipulate the bestseller rank. And when you say, which means a giveaway, but do a bunch of giveaways. You're not supposed to do these giveaways with this high coupons. And when you said Viral Launch, I'm assuming that meant the same thing. That's what Viral Launch does. They just have a big email list, basically, and they blast out your big coupon to a big email list.
Yeah. But my question is, right, like, say you're some brand like Sony, you're selling on Amazon, and you have 1 million followers on your social media networks, and you offer your product, even if you don't even offer a discount, you might get a bunch of sales and it would spike your BSR. Like, is that BSR like, where's the line drawn, right? So that's not very clear, and it's tough for sellers to really know, okay, where does this fall? Is this BSR manipulating because I sold more because I promoted my product? Like, where it's not a very clear line. So that's a bit of a frustrating one. As long as you're getting organic sales along the same time, it's probably good. And then another thing that I've seen people do is just like have past customers that have signed up for like future giveaways, that type of thing. Or just Facebook groups. It's not allowed, but I've seen people do that too.
Yeah. Yeah. And, but your friend was only suspended for 3 days.
Yeah, he hired like some Amazon guy to get him reinstated pretty quickly.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was totally suspended and then, but he
Yeah.
got back in 3 days through appealing it basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know. Um, but yeah, long story short, what I've noticed is pretty much people don't use coupons anymore.
Nope.
For a couple of reasons. Number one, if you have a high coupon, high Amazon coupon, that customer can't leave a review.
Yeah.
I think if it's above a certain amount, they can't leave a review at all. It says they're not eligible to
Oh,
if
okay.
they try to. And then number two, even if it's a small coupon amount, like below 50%, I think that it will say unverified review or it won't say
Yeah.
verified
I
review.
think it's like 50% above that. It's unverified, but I'm not exactly sure on the percent.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. So basically, what everyone does now is they do rebates. They do
Yeah.
giveaway via rebate.
Yeah.
So have you tried that?
I haven't, but I also haven't launched a product in like 5 months. So I keep telling myself I want to do it because that is like, it's basically untraceable and that is the way to do it. Like, I guarantee you that's killing it right now.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, it's the same. Everyone's doing the same thing, but instead of Amazon coupons, they just give them a rebate after the fact.
Yeah.
And depending how you look on at it, what's within terms of service or not. All I know is there's several rebate sites out there
Yeah.
where you buy it and then they either send you a check in the mail or send you a rebate via gift card or something. So
Yeah.
there's legitimate companies running these rebate sites. But I think the big picture is Amazon does not want you to incentivize reviews. So you can't say like, hey, you're going to get a rebate if you leave a review.
Yeah.
That's a big, big no-no. So, but all these websites have to do is clearly state reviews are not required. That's all they have to state. Like, this is not for a review. So that's,
Yeah.
so those sites, they all say clearly, this is not a review site. Like when you sign up as a seller, this is not a review site. But what it
Yeah.
can do is it spikes your BSR because you post this promotion
Yeah.
and you get a bunch of orders for full price. Some
You're
of the
getting keyword
sites,
rank.
yeah, some of the sites do search, find, buy,
Yeah.
where you has the shopper actually search the keyword, find you, and buy. So total organic process.
Yeah.
And then they handle offering the customer a rebate on the back end. So as long
That's
as they
what they
don't,
taught me back in Thailand. Like when I went to Chiang Mai in 2017, that's what they were teaching everyone was like, find people in these Facebook groups, tell them you'll send them money by PayPal if they buy your product, and you get the search, find, buy. And that was working so well, like 10 buys from people and you're like page one sometimes.
yeah. Yeah. So that's what some of these websites have basically packaged that in. We've also been working with someone who has access to a big email list, and they basically just do the same thing. It's
Cool.
not viral launch. It's not a company. They're kind of just like an agency, and they have access to an email list, and they just do the same thing and promote the giveaway. And it's, hey, we're doing a giveaway, and it's a free after rebate offer. It's free after rebate has always been around. You see those commercial TV commercials, even like mailers. It's like free, get a free, da da da, and then at the bottom it says after rebate. Like, so you have to buy it, and then you get the coupon in the mail. Then you have to like fill out the card in the mail. Remember, like when you were a kid, it used to be all these like rebate things, and you have to send that back in the mail, and then you probably get your rebate like a month or two later.
That's weird because this webcam I'm using, I bought it for like $100-something, and I was supposed to get a $20 rebate, and I forgot to send the thing back in. But yeah. They're everywhere.
Yeah, rebates. Or like you buy one and get a second one free, but it's like small text, but rebate only, like after rebate. So you gotta like send. Anyway, so yeah, rebates have always been around, and in all different industries, and online shopping is no different. Um, but yeah, what you just got to be careful of is you can't incentivize review. Be like, you're only going to get the rebate if you leave a review. So obviously all these sites, they make it clear reviews are not required. Yes, they're encouraged. It's some different sites, they'll send a follow-up email, and some you can do a follow-up text. They all have their different things.
Have you done rebates?
Yeah, we have, and we worked with this agency that basically does it. They have access to a big email list,
Oh, cool.
and they handle the whole follow-up process themselves. So
Awesome.
it's totally hands-off for us. They charge like a management fee, which is decent price
Yep.
per giveaway, and then they handle the follow-up with the taker. And yeah, it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good.
Sounds worth it, even if it's expensive.
Yeah. 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 It's, I haven't found any other, better way, if you guys are listening and, any better type of a promotional way to not only, to promote your Amazon listing. That's basically it. It's what we're trying to promote our new launch. And by doing that, obviously you're going to spike a flood of sales, which boosts the ranking. And then hopefully a lot of those people will be kind enough to also leave a review. And, different sites and agencies have their different ways of asking for a review. Some are more, some have a more robust follow-up sequence than others. But yeah, feel free to reach out, and I can give you guys some recommendations if you want, different options for that. And then, okay, cool. So, and then you mentioned ManyChat. Do you still do ManyChat stuff?
I do. I
Via
do.
inserts, or where's that taking place?
Yeah, inserts with barcode scanners. We do that for just like customers have issues, they can talk to us directly through that. We'll do it for, kind of getting a list too. Like I do have a decent little list I've built up through ManyChat sequences, once again, through like the QR code scanners on inserts. And then, like I said, I've used the ManyChat when I did like Facebook ad giveaways for my launches.
Nice.
Yeah. Also, if we ever offer like a free PDF, we usually give that to them through ManyChat too, just so we kind of have the customer. Although they just changed their terms, so it's hard to do that now. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a video on that soon. I've been a ManyChat guy for the past few years. I like going in there. It's kind of fun to play around, and like it's like being a kid, building like a virtual building like a virtual like racetrack or something. I was just building these ManyChat, all these like bells and whistles and stuff.
They're fun.
Yeah. So I waste a little bit. I waste a little bit too much time on ManyChat sometimes, playing around in the ManyChat sandbox. But yeah, we do that too. We have an insert with a call to action to scan this and get blah blah blah. What's your call to action? What's the best one you found?
Honestly, I don't do too much of it. I usually give like a instructional manual or something like. They also give like discounts on future products, but I just kind of got into it and then kind of left it. But the one thing that gets redeemed a lot is the instruction manual for a product that basically needs an instruction manual.
There you go. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Gets a lot of redemptions.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Another Amazon expert who had done a lot of testing told me that the best call to action he's seen is scan to register your warranty.
Yeah, true.
Or extended warranty, however you want to word it. So we've been doing that, and it's been getting a scan rate around like 3 to 5%, which I think is pretty good. So we just have one QR code now. It's like scan to register your warranty. Also, receive your free gift and your instructional video.
Okay.
It's like all in one QR code.
That's good.
Now it opens up a ManyChat and it delivers all those three things. And then, send them the video, and you can actually, ManyChat has integrated with Shopify coupons now. So it can send them a one-time Shopify coupon right there in ManyChat. So we implement that. So it's a $5 coupon to go buy your next one on our store, on our website.
Okay, you guys got a store. Cool.
Yeah, we're trying to build up our website now on our most popular products. Just starting to drive Facebook ads now to it this past month. Yeah, and then a whole follow-up sequence as well. Basically, they changed their terms where you can't send them a follow-up message in ManyChat after 24 hours.
Exactly.
Unless they click the button to receive a one-time notification in Messenger. But what you can do, basically, let's say you had a ManyChat sequence where they get a message on day 7 and then day 14 and day 30. You just change those messages to email messages. And then it's the same thing. They just get that message to their email inbox instead of their ManyChat.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, of course, you have to have them give their email, which is pretty easy. You're doing that anyway.
Yeah.
First message pops up. Hey, thanks, blah, blah, blah. Tap to confirm your email, and their email pops up automatically. They just tap. And then actually what you have to do now is you have to put in that message, this confirms opt into our email list. And as long as you have that, then you set the action to email opt-in. Now they're opted in to receive unlimited emails through your message provider, like over there on MailChimp or whatever, and unlimited email messages through ManyChat.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, that's pretty much the big update. And then I also send one message 23 hours later. It's like, hey, little 23-hour, just a kind 23-hour check-in, making sure everything's all good with your blank blank. And then there's like 3 different replies, like all good, loving it already, or get help.
Yep.
And then if they click loving it already, it says like, oh, glad you're loving it already. What do you love about it so far? And then, hopefully they'll type something really positive. And in an ideal world, you have your customer service person reply to that personally.
Personally, okay.
And then if things are going well, then you have your customer service person say, reply to that personally and be like, okay, glad you're loving your glasses. It's like really helps your eyes now. Glad to hear that. By the way, would you mind sharing those words as an Amazon review? Here's the link. Boom.
Cool.
That's the ideal situation. I actually have that automated out now, but I'm going to train my customer service person to come in and do that personally.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway. That's my ManyChat fun recently. Fuck. All right. So yeah, I guess what's next? Are you going to still try to sell your business or start a new store, or kind of what are you going to do next?
Yeah, I got approved for a second Amazon account, and I have honestly like too many product ideas. Like I have so many that I could start right now. But there's definitely a few niches I want to go hard on. Want to reinvest a lot because does no good sitting in the bank. But yeah, the business is still up for sale. It would be nice to be. I've noticed a lot of my products just over time. I think Amazon, the way they've done reviews, have kind of started to limit. Like I've noticed a lot of my average star ratings have gone from like 4.7 to like 4.6, 4.5, just like really slowly. I don't know if that's like just bad luck on my part or bad product quality, or if they're really filtering out some of the 5 stars. Either way, it would be nice to kind of just, sell the brand, and be able to cash out and like be safe and start a new one. But I definitely still love Amazon. I don't know a better, easier to get into business model than Amazon. Like it's honestly like they were saying this in 2016 and it's still true now. Like I couldn't recommend a better business model that you can make as much cash in from a starting point as Amazon. So,
In
I
three
still think
years,
that.
in
Yeah.
3 years, you basically made 750,000. Like if you're,
Yeah.
assuming you're going to sell your business still for around the
Yeah. Like net
400K mark.
worth, technically. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've already stacked over a quarter mil, and your business was already approved for the sale of 400K.
It was
So
460. Yeah.
460.
Yeah.
So, 600K in 3 years is not too bad.
Not at all. And I
Like,
still think it's a good opportunity and I would still do it again. And that's what I want to do,
awesome. Yeah. Yeah. And you're totally free to be wherever you want, totally locationally free and time free.
For sure.
You can do whatever you want. It's like, if you make 200K a year in the US, you have a great job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have a great job. You're like a doctor or something.
Almost.
Or like a lawyer. Like they only make like 200K. Well, obviously it varies, but like 200K is like, boom, you got like nice car. You're like rich, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And making just 200K. So, but that's one flavor of 200K. That's like, you still have a job 400K. You're not location or time totally flexible.
Yeah.
You're still doing that thing. This is a whole another 200K. It's almost 200K a year, let's say, that you profit. That's completely different flavor, because it's totally not tied to anything. Your business is in the cloud. All you need is a laptop, internet connection, and that's the motherfucking FBA lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. And I've also got it all set up like tax-free, not tax-free, but very low tax rate, because I changed my residency, incorporated overseas. It's all legal. Basically followed some like really complex tax planning. But yeah, I basically gave up my Canadian residency, not my Canadian citizenship, but my Canadian residency, which, I could get back at any time. But basically means I'm living overseas, live in a country that doesn't tax foreign profit, and then set up the business in a nice no tax jurisdiction. And it's all legal, and it's all reduced my tax bill by like a ton. And I think it's probably not something you want to look at the start, but if you're making decent money, it's definitely something to look into, because it's not fun paying a bunch of money in tax.
Yeah, it's not fun getting jacked by the government. It's not fun getting jacked by the legal mafia that is the government. That's going to come in and take 20 to 30% of your shit.
Yeah.
Even though they can fucking print money, even though the Fed just prints unlimited money and they don't need to tax us anyway. They still go out and print trillions like they've done in the last 10 years, and even more during Corona.
Oh, it's brutal, man. I'm scared for some countries after Corona. Like, people here collecting their $2,000 Canadian checks, and it's like, we're going into debt faster and faster here. It's scary, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that money is just printed. It's just created out of thin air. Not even to mention the banks who give out loans and create money out of thin air. They're just pressing buttons and they're loaning money that doesn't exist. They're basically creating debt, which is money, and then profiting off the interest, which there's that money doesn't even exist. This whole fractional reserve banking system. Anyway, that's a whole nother podcast.
It is.
I've been fired up about it recently because there's this one new YouTube video about it by one of my favorite YouTubers. Cold Fusion TV, look it up. It's called How is Money Created? Came out a couple weeks ago. Very important thing to understand as a citizen, how money is created. It ties in with taxes and all that, but that's super dope, man. You figure that out, and let's say you profit, 200K a year. If you were still living in Canada, you would have to pay. Do you know what the tax rate would be if you have to pay that?
Depends on which province you live in and the way you have your company set up, but it's probably like, we got higher taxes than you guys in America. It's like, I think it can get up to like 43% in the province that I live.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. So that means instead of taking home 200K, you would only be taking home like 120K.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, you know, like if we're going to talk about Amazon optimization, like getting your package smaller than 75 inches to like make an extra dollar, all right, that's going to make you an extra, you know, a few percent per year, whatever. But if we want to talk about the big chunks,
Oh yeah,
you want to increase your whole business's margin by 40%. That's what you just did.
essentially, yeah,
It might as well be a product optimization, because at the end of the day, it's what you're taking home, and
exactly.
it's the same as optimizing your product's margins.
And you think about it, right? Like, even if I wasn't making it that much, like I'm still saving 40% or whatever it is. Like, you know, someone that is paying tax, they're having to have a more expensive product to make up for that, right? Like, I can undercut my competitors just because of my tax situation. You know, like
Wow.
I can afford to make less profit per sale because I'm not paying tax. So you think about the whole scheme of things, like you're giving yourself a competitive advantage if you tax plan properly. I mean, obviously, I learned all this stuff from people a lot smarter than me. There's actually a very good YouTube channel, probably people know of it. What's it called? Nomad Capitalist.
Yep.
And so that's where, when I moved to my country of residence, there's a lot of people doing the same thing as me there, because you know, you got an online business, you might as well optimize it so you're making as much as possible. But yeah, shout out to that channel.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice because I know that it is, like you say, it's making an income boost, whereas you could have been paying all that money to the government.
Yeah. To the government that's going to go blow someone's head off uh, by dropping a bomb and blow someone's fucking body apart.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. But that's a whole nother video. Yeah. And Evan's there now. Evan's there now in Tbilisi.
Yep.
Because he follows Nomad Capitalist. We've talked about it before. And
Okay.
you know, not just him, but like it's also another nomad hotspot for. I'm sure that's one of the big reasons is because of the tax benefits. If you can get
It's
your
really growing. Like, they're trying to become like the nomad country. Like, their government's even involved in trying to like organize, like, when I was there last year, they had events that they were putting on, and they had like a whole website dedicated, and the people that are actually trying to like attract nomads, because like, you know, Asia's cheap, man. Georgia's cheaper. Like,
that's what I heard.
it's
That's what I
nice.
heard. Georgia. Yeah, never been. I know the Nomad Summit was supposed to be there, but pushed back because of Corona. But I'm sure it will be rescheduled. Yeah, I'll make it through sometime. Um, I guess. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's the world is, you know, it's an open world, and you know they're like free competition. Sure, we'll take all this flood of money and you know, flood of all
Exactly.
this business. So
Exactly.
makes sense. Yeah, not to just have your money jacked to fucking fund wars and shit and
Yeah.
useless shit. Um, cool. Yeah, for someone wondering who's like never heard of Tbilisi or Georgia, like what's your kind of summary of like what it's like there?
I don't have too much experience in Europe in general, but I would say it feels European. Even though there's kind of debate whether or not it's Asian, European, it's kind of right
Yeah,
in between.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, if you walk downtown, it feels European. I love the country. Like, obviously, it's not the most wealthy country. There's people on very low salaries there, just like many countries out in the world, but very safe, like safer than North America, supposedly by the statistics. Um, you know, great food, things are cheap. Obviously, there's some annoyances, like the air quality there is not the best. Like, same like Bangkok, it's not the best, but you know, it's there's a lot more things going for it than there are negatives.
yeah,
You know, fairly friendly people. Obviously, different language. Not the You know, the younger population speaks pretty good English, but the older population speaks Russian because the old Soviet Union they're a part of. Um, yeah, I mean, it's worth checking out. It's a lot of cool history there, like 5,000-year-old caves and castles and churches everywhere, and it's pretty cool.
yeah. Cool. Uh, yeah, nice, 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 nice. Yeah, I actually didn't even realize until like in recent months that it's not in Eastern Europe. It's like close. It's like next to Turkey.
Yeah, it's right above Turkey
Yeah,
and
interesting.
below Russia.
Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, maybe see you there sometime or back in Bangkok. And I guess people listening, they can go check out your YouTube channel. You have a bunch of FBA content. You haven't made a video in a while, but you said you might make some new ones.
Yeah, I want to get
So
back into it.
yeah, so yeah, feel free to look up Graham on YouTube, guys.
Just search my name.
Yeah, Graham Winship, winning big, shipping out units,
There you go.
making those grams of gold. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. All right, guys. Peace. Good podcast. Share it with a friend if you listened all this way. Don't forget to subscribe and all that good shit. And see you on the next episode. Peace.
See you.
Thanks for listening to the FBA Lifestyle Podcast. Don't forget to follow on all podcast platforms, YouTube and Instagram. Ready to fast track your first or next FBA product? Ready to create a real product that leaves the competition in the dust? Then check out the 90-Day FBA Challenge, a 12-week accelerator program with weekly coaching calls where we help you go from zero idea what to sell to a product live on Amazon within 90 days. And download the free Amazon Secrets ebook, FBA Lifestyle, the Amazon Experts. Start your FBA business. Achieve the freedom lifestyle.